Just me, a place to be me, where you get to experience life. 'Cause life is a journey, not a guided tour. If you want the rainbow, you have to go through the rain.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for joining us in this next episode as we return to the conversation of back to school with our students and helping to support our students. So again, we have amazing school counselors who have come from Forsyth County School District, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves this time. Go ahead, Miss Felicia.
All right, I am Felicia Tubbs. I'm the district lead middle school counselor.
Hi, I'm Patricia Durham. I am the district lead elementary school counselor.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for returning back and having this important conversation with us. Last week, we talked about the concerns around phones and what the school has been doing, the school district has been doing to support with keeping cyberbullying under wrap and just being good stewards with our children as far as phone safety. And we also talked about different ways to have blended families or two-parent households work together. And now I want to ask you guys a little bit about the importance of extracurricular activities. I know that, again, COVID-19 kind of flipped us on our heads, and the concept of sports, the concept of clubs, those were all things that kind of dwindled away, and we had to figure out how to utilize it again and have those things virtually. And now we're telling our kids, go outside. So before we told our kids, come inside, now we're telling them to go outside. So what in the world? How do we help parents understand and kind of negotiate that with their kids, understand the importance of extracurricular activities and getting off of the screen after we've told them for so many years to be on the screen?
Well, we definitely encourage a sense of belonging, and extracurricular activities actually help with learning how to work on a team. It helps with socialization skills, networking. They can definitely get information as far as networking in their classes, from their teammates, from their coaches, from their teachers, connecting with school staff. It also gives them exposure and just the opportunity for leadership opportunities. So that's a definitely.
And it also promotes that general health and wellness, de-stressing and kind of releasing some of the stress factors and making sure that our bodies and our minds are healthy. So that way, when students are at school, they have that feeling of that general health and wellness.
Exactly. And it's another way of getting involved, helping their community, helping others, being a part of different extracurricular activities. So, but yes, they definitely need to learn how to manage stress and anxiety, and definitely having those extracurricular activities is a lot of times a relief, for kids.
And to go along with the socialization also helps students understand how to resolve conflicts, on a team in a safe environment where there's a coach and adult that's helping them through situations that they can help resolve.
I like what you guys said there, because a lot of times we have parents that come in and they get their kids involved in football or basketball, different activities, but then they take them out because their student is having trouble with their anger or their aggression or learning how to conflict resolve. And me as a therapist, I try to encourage parents, keep them in that activity. This is not something that they're born with knowing how to do. No, help. That's why the coach is there. That's why other mentors are there. That's why you are there, is to say, hey, this is not something we're just going to quit. This is something that we're going to work through. So tell me, how do you guys feel about that? Or what are you guys' insights?
Yeah, I really like that idea of, encouraging students to stick with a sports or activity, especially if there is an obstacle or conflict, and supporting the parents as well in that engagement. Encourage the parents to stay during the practice or attend the game, and then, after and before the practice, they can then do some additional coaching. When you were doing this on the field, and this other student did this, and you got upset with that. Let's see if we can talk about ways that we can resolve that. So that way, and we can talk to the coach together. In school, when I was in a school, I like to connect with coaches because our coaches were also mentors for some of our students. And then when our coaches are also involved in the education piece with parents, our team expands, right? The team of people who are supporting student success expands.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say as far as with whether it's a club sponsor or as a sporting event, a coach, then that is the extra person of support for that particular student. So definitely having them and then communicating with the parent about it. If there was something that was going on, the coaches get information as far as if their grades are slipping. So they will talk with them about it. What's going on? How can we help you? And parents definitely need to have some communication with them because they're another advocate for their child. So.
And that's that team approach again that we talked about in the last episode. That the team approach with the coach, that can get involved too and help push to the student and to the parent the importance of the academic piece. I know growing up in my household, you had to have your academics. You wasn't playing no sports. If you was and you failed, you was getting out of sports. And I know even raising, I had that same, like you said, parents, no grades, no sports. But I see now the importance of like even stripping it all away is like real stress goes way over the board. But I do know that the schools are making sure like in order to play, you do have to have passing grades and they are pushing that. And the parents are aware of it again ahead of time. The students know ahead of time. So again, that team approach, parents encourage them when they leave school to if you need to help them get tutors or anything like that to maintain that so they can maintain that the extra activities, extra. So
a lot of programs have after school, like study halls and various things before they even go to club events or they go to their practice and things of that nature. Because the school, not just the school, but the coach encourages for them to do well, because if they don't do well, then they won't be able to play. But the main thing is what's best for that particular student, and that is for them to do well academically and have an outlet to be able to participate in these various sports and activities. So, yeah.
Yes, and that social connection and support also encourages accountability for maintaining grades and completing assignments, because if they don't do well, then they can't play the next game or participate in the next event, and to sit out. They're still a part of the team, and that team kind of helps hold that accountability piece as well.
Exactly.
Yes, I do remember being in cheerleading and softball. If the grades weren't okay, I had to sit out, and that was so agonizing. Like I had to sit out for a couple of games, and that would never happen again. I promise you, because I wanted to be out on that field.
That's right.
Whereas the parents pull their kids out of the sports, now you lose that accountability piece and that support and that social connection.
And there are a lot of kids who those extra activities are definitely needed, because the home life may not be all that great either. So that sporting activity, school, and sometimes the sporting activity is an outlet for them. So yes.
And then when it comes to
positive one,
post-secondary experiences, a lot of times the sporting events, the club events, that all is on their resume of experience, working as a team and developing a project. And so when they're working on their post-secondary lives, all that is experience.
Yes. And even if you don't go to college, and that's okay, but it builds that healthy learned behavior, those habits.
Exactly.
Everybody gets old, okay? And so those healthy life skills with exercise, with eating, okay? All of those, stress management, those are things that you can learn with sports and extracurricular activities and clubs at a young age, and keep that motivation, keep those habits throughout your entire life.
That's right. It's going to help you. It's definitely going to help you. And everyone doesn't go to college, so it can help you just in the workforce. It can help you
Yeah.
if you're going to the military, wherever you are. So yeah.
And I like what you said about promoting that healthy lifestyle too, for sure.
Yeah.
We all need that.
Yes.
Adults.
Yeah, especially with managing stress as adults. Hello.
That part.
One last question for you ladies. Back to school, that also means, like you said, routine, getting that structure, helping kids with being responsible, getting to bed on time, different things of that nature. But then also there's a point of contention that sometimes we as adults feel when our kids are bringing home this new homework or how they're doing things, not like I remember doing it when I was in school, where math or the reading or the English. So if parents are having trouble with getting their kids to do the homework because A, they don't understand how the homework is done, or B, there's just so much other things to do, how do you help parents get back engaged with that routine of, hey, let's sit down and do this work?
So one thing I know I'll always do is just whether it be elementary, middle, or high school, is to definitely have a structured time, okay, for you to do this. Yes, you need breaks. Yes, you need extracurricular activities, but we have to make sure that we have a structured time to get your work and everything done. So having that set time, encouraging parents to do that, to have a structured activity for them, a structured activity, a positive, good environment for them to do those things, whether it be the library down the street, whether it be grandma's table, whether it be, auntie or uncle's house, or whether it be at right after school in the media center at study hall or whatever. So they need to have that, but they need to have the parent needs to definitely communicate with the school. So if there's something they don't understand, they need help with, then okay, well, the teachers, what's your tutoring time? Okay. If you don't understand or you don't know how to help them, because it's a lot of stuff that's changed over the years. Ask me if I had to help my child right now, or my grandchildren or whatever right now with some of the math, I would struggle myself.
Yeah.
So letting them know to ask for help is okay. That is what we are here for. We are here to help them. We're here to give them the resources and guide them in the right direction to help their child.
And a lot of times teachers will post on their websites, Canvas pages, they'll put in Class Dojo Remind, little tutorials for parents and students to refer back to. And for parents who didn't do well in school, or for our parents who are not literate, don't be afraid to allow your student to ask the teacher for help. That is okay. And, teachers are, we're human beings and we do not judge. And so I know that, if you had a poor experience in school and you're struggling to even come through that school door, little steps, reach out to the student services team, reach out to the school counselor, share some of our personal experience, share some of your personal experience. We're all here just to support your student and their student success. And we want to make sure that if you need support or help, that the school can help you.
Awesome. And I like what you guys said with just setting aside that time with your child. So even if it's with high schoolers, I know they have school projects. Hey, it might be something where you may not know the information, but you can sure lend a hand with that creativity. Okay. The poster boards. Okay.
Or just the moral support.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, my when they went to college, they're doing business and nursing. I can't help them with that, but I can definitely cheer them on, provide the snacks.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, any last tip that you would want to give to any of the listeners before we go?
I would say to make sure that parents stay in good communication with their school. If they get frustrated or upset with their school, try to remember that the school and the parent have the same goal, and is educating their student and making sure that they provide a safe and healthy environment. And so to please just always communicate with the school. Don't sit at home for long periods of time and let something go. always communicate with the school.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I ditto that. You definitely have to be in communication with the school. Just know that it's that we're here. We're not going to bite you. We're not trying to hurt you or anything. We truly want your child to be successful. So please communicate with the school. Yes. Whether anyone at the school, principal, social worker, counselor, teacher. We always encourage parents to. Sometimes we would have parents that may go straight to a principal or go straight to a counselor before they talk with the teacher. So we encourage them, like, start with the teacher first, build that relationship and and get that information from the teacher. And if you don't get what you need, then you can come to any of us afterwards. But always, anytime you feel like you need to communicate with us, then please make sure you do. Open communication is key.
Yes, and you are modeling that for your children and for your youth so that they know how to do it when they have their kids.
Yes, exactly.
So that team approach. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much. Well, you guys have dropped a whole bunch of knowledge for us. Great insight as we continue to get these kids back to school and graduated and on to be happy, healthy, successful adults, whatever that looks like. So thank you guys so much for your insight and your input. And until next time, take care of yourself so that we are all taking care of each other, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to Just Me Therapy podcast. If you are seeking further one-on-one diagnoses, interventions, and treatment plans, please consider scheduling an appointment with an individual counselor at Journeys Counseling Center, located in Greensboro, North Carolina. Journeys can be reached at 336-294-1349. The mission of Just Me Therapy podcast is to use authentic conversations to uplift one's mind, body, and soul. The goal of Just Me Therapy is to offer affordable education and insight to individuals who experience financial barriers to accessing individualized behavioral health care services. With that being said, the information, including opinions, advice, and recommendations discussed in this podcast, are intended for individual, informational, and educational purposes only. Such information is not intended to substitute the recommendations of your own licensed therapist or healthcare professional. Although we are licensed behavioral health professionals, we are not your licensed behavioral health professional. As a result, the advice mentioned on this podcast should not replace the recommendations offered by your own qualified health professional.